Welcome everybody to the comic book club. And today we are reading and reviewing Fantastic Four 52, the first Black Panther. Let me bring in my members of the book club. What up, D?
Hey, Big D in the house.
That's right. Thank you for coming, D. Appreciate you.
Hey
Alan.
guys.
We kind of got the same core again. We got Matt. What up, Matt?
Hi.
No new stranglers, but everybody came back, so this is great.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll
I was
just
trying to
jump.
convince my son to join.
Oh, really? That would have been great.
Yeah, I was saying like comics are cool. He's very anti comics right now. So
My son gets interest. My son shows interest, and then he doesn't.
yeah,
It's
right
like
now
the
he's not
second it
interested.
comes down to actually reading it, it's like, I'm gonna go play video games now.
No, my son used to really read them a lot when he was like 10 to 12, that age. And then now he hates them. I don't know why. It's really
He
sad.
might change his mind, Alan.
I hope so.
So I suggested this book. I'm the only one with the physical copy. If they ever want to show some panels digitally, they can with the phone or computer. I don't know. I could have probably tried what Alan was saying before we started, but I'm too lazy. I mean, if you want to pull it up on a different app, somebody you can. I'll zoom in on you or whatever. But anyways, I could always pull my copy out, and you guys could ask me to show what you're talking about. They used to do that on another channel too. So I love this cover.
That's the modern one.
Yes, this is the facsimile. I also have.
Yeah, I know you have the original as well. You have so yours is case too, so you can't show it.
No, I also got a True Believer, but I couldn't find that one. But yeah, here's the original FF52, and I'll give you my grade on the cover later. So you start off with this big splash of the Panther. That's the first time you get to see the Panther full blown panel, and it's beautiful. And so the way it starts off is you see the FF crew flying around in this glider jet that rides the magnetic waves of the world, and they got it from an ambassador or something from Wakanda. Okay,
Yeah, it was a gift from Wakanda.
Gift from Wakanda, right? And Reed's flying it, and
The thing's getting sick.
yeah, Ben's the pilot, the master pilot, and people are kind of joking around with him, saying, "Well, you can handle it." Well, he actually does get a little air sick right there. So
Well, I mean, it's been only a couple years. He's still got this new body. He doesn't know everything about it.
Oh, see, making excuses for his.
Well,
So
I mean, come on. He's a pilot. He should be over that crap.
we jump over here to Wakanda, and this is what I kind of expect Wakanda to look like. Very cool, very African,
Tribal,
maybe.
yeah.
You got the big Black Panther statue, which is very cool.
And then inside the statue is his costume.
You got some ads right here. The last Ditko cover, a Marvel Tells, Daredevil 12 cents. So I love the ads.
So they put the original ads in the reprint.
Looks
If it's
like
a facsimile, yes.
That's really nice.
Everything's exactly like the original.
If it's a true believer or something, it'll be different. But when you get a facsimile, it gives you everything.
So like Alan was saying, this is the statue, and you see I forget his name already. What's his name? T'Challa.
Yeah.
He's down
That is
here
one
playing.
interesting looking computer, though.
Yeah, we got the first look at Kirby Wakanda computer art, and it's kind of neat. So the Panther actually dresses up on the next panel. He's getting a suit out of his Panther monument. Then it goes to Johnny Storm.
At college.
Yeah, at college with the sidekick. Now I don't know much about this guy. His sidekick. What is his name?
Yeah. Yeah.
Flash.
It's
Wyatt
Wingfoot.
What?
Wingfoot, right? Wingfoot.
It's another
Yeah.
one of those. It's another one of those. Homilies. Wyatt Wingfoot.
Yeah.
So Wingfoot is asleep here, and
I
he's
thought he was
sleeping.
gonna I thought they were gonna play a joke where he sleeps through the whole thing and just sort of wakes up and says, "Oh, how was everything?" But they didn't do that. He actually has a pretty good role.
Yes, and that's another thing that confused me later. He
Okay.
suddenly just awake and doing stuff. It was like, when did he wake up? I don't remember seeing the panel.
So the FF crew fly to Johnny's dorm, and they pick up Johnny. And Johnny's like, "Hey, man, I know this guy's crashed out. He's going to sleep through everything, but we're going to take my roommate Wingfoot with us, or whatever the fuck, you know." And he's like, "Okay."
Just yeah.
And then you get to see some of the Inhumans action, because FF 45 to 52, the Inhumans are kind of
Well,
in
so
the FF run.
Johnny's kind of whining about missing his girl and trying to get his girl back.
Yes, and his girl's
And then-
in one of these prisons like this. Yes.
Yeah.
They got the
They
karate
sort of
FF
explained it
guy.
a little bit what's happening with her.
You got the karate FF guy chopping diamonds inside of his prison, but he can't chop through the walls of the prison.
Oh, it's the negative zone or
Mhm.
something.
like that.
You got Medusa there. Then we find out the Black Bolt's brother is the guy that has them all imprisoned.
Yeah, Maximus.
Good old Maximus.
Now, this is where I kind of was like, what is going on? So when I saw Wakanda look like this, it's basically a computer. Sorry, I'm so far away.
So yeah, so they were saying like all the rocks and everything has computer stuff in them, like the trees, everything.
Oh yeah, there's no trees or nothing. It's just wires and gizmos and shit like that. Like on this panel, like you don't even see a. That's what I was like. It's usually a little mixture, but this is straight computer stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they show up. They get sabotaged by the machinery. The Black Panther comes out, double kick to both their motherfucking faces. The Black Panther does not care. He's whooping all their ass. Why is he whooping their ass?
So it seems like it's like they've been taken to a certain part of Wakanda where it's like sort of like it's like all trapped.
Yeah,
because
this is set
the
up
thing
for the
he
FF.
gets zapped, right, and he gets weakened.
Yep, instantly. Yep. So he's low. This is where Wingfoot wakes up as soon as the drama kicks in.
There we go. All right.
So he was asleep all through the jet ride and everything. Then Wingfoot pops up. They already zapped the thing. They've already captured the torch in a like prison cell thing. And Black Panther's like, well, I already took two of you pussies out. Let's see who's left.
Hey, isn't that technically kidnapping? If you fall asleep in your college dorm room and you wake up in Africa,
what the hell?
In the middle of a battle.
I thought. Exactly what I thought.
I was thinking it was a little weird too. You know, you'd think they'd wake him at least and ask him if he wanted to come.
Like, hey, bro, you can sleep on the jet. Let's go check out this African country. Like, all right, I'm down. Let's do it. But no, they just scooped him
They
up.
just grab him.
Yeah.
So some of the FF soldiers are shooting.
The other thing that I thought was weird about it was that, you know, usually like superheroes kind of keep their secret identities, and Johnny Storm, I guess, doesn't really care.
I don't think the FF ever cared about their identities. I think they were pretty adamant,
they were pretty flamboyant,
pretty public right off the bat.
Yeah.
So Invisible Woman is next on the hit list. So is Thing, kind of. Well, Thing's still not captured completely. The only person that's really captured completely is the Torch. So he goes after the Invisible Woman. He figures where she is because she's standing by a humming machine, but he was able to smell her.
Yeah.
He jumps.
It's like so disturbing. It's like he's full Joe Biden like.
Oh, he's animalistic. He is a panther. We do got this cool scene where
maybe she's wearing the fancy perfume from Bloomingdale's.
I don't know how far this gimmick went with the poison coming out of his fingers, but that's pretty cool, right?
I thought I remember seeing that somewhere else actually, where he
do that in the first movie.
Yeah, I think so.
He had some sort of knockout gas.
Yeah, knockout gas. I remember that. Yeah.
So the Thing is about half power. He's battling the Black Panther, but the Black Panther kind of wasn't so knowingly of how strong the Thing is.
Well,
So
he
the
didn't
thing,
realize they would wear off so quickly.
yeah, so he didn't know that he was so strong that he could like get his strength back quicker than a normal person.
Well,
I don't know how
he also tricked him into washing his face in some deionizing or
Yeah, something
destabilizing water.
Nobody has ever,
devitalizing. It was devitalizing water.
no
Yeah,
one's ever accused Ben Grimm of being the world's greatest man.
Yeah,
yeah. He stopped to scrub his face in some random pool of water in the middle of this technological city.
right here.
Yeah,
I'm glad you brought that up, D, because I did want to point out I can't believe how dumb the thing was. Is one of my biggest
That is
disappointments.
the thing is, okay, and I'm not saying the thing as a thing. I mean, his background, he's a boxer at some point. He was and a football player, right? Well, those kinds of athletes are used to throwing water in their face to get the sweat out of their eyes.
Yeah, but still, you're inside of a foreign place where all you've seen is booby traps, and you're rubbing liquid all over your face.
Like I
that.
said, I don't think he's the smartest bulb under the sea.
So he's fighting him, blah blah blah. He does end up capturing the thing too, but you see my boy Lightfoot or whatever his name is. He's just getting all types of intel. He's taking no shorts, no losses. He's staying undefeated.
So the idea is that the Black Panther, because Wyatt is not a superhero in any particular way, he just sort of ignores him and doesn't that's the one element that he didn't calculate for.
He wasn't ready for him because he didn't know he was coming.
Wyatt's also a good Wyatt's also a good hunter tracker, right? So he's
it's in his blood. He's basically a superhero.
Yeah, they were mentioning that. Yeah, hunter tracker thing. Yeah.
So the way he captures Reed is he's like, all right, I'll get Reed in the dark. I'll have him swing at me because I'm agile as shit. And then the titanium handcuffs will nab his hands up. Well, that don't really beat Reed because his feet come out.
All he has to do is stretch even thinner, and they come out. Maybe
they adjust. They grab.
That's what I'm saying. Unless they're adjustable, they gas.
Or they grab. They actually grab. You know what I mean? Not just, act like a cuff where it's around the arm, but it actually grabs the. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I hear you.
So just like that, after he done beat everybody's ass, instantly Lightfoot's like, nah, fam, they're all free. I freed Torch first, and Torch freed the rest of them. And they're like, okay, well, you didn't beat us, Black Panther. And the Black Panther's like, okay, well, now I get to expose why I put you through all this in the next issue, is the way the book ends. I enjoyed it very much. We're going cover, story, art, and overall. So I'm giving the cover a 4.75
out of 5, right?
Out of 5,
mm-hmm.
4.75. It's almost perfect. I'm a Jack Kirby fan, so it's damn near as good as the silhouette of the Panther with the cape. You got the whole squad there. You got the Kirby mechanics. There's a lot of history in the silhouette of the hero jumping through the circle. Very historically, nostalgically used and homaged. Mm-hmm. So that's my grading for the cover, 4.75. The story, I blew through it and I enjoyed it. It took about as much time as it did as the Hunter Prey for me. There's a lot more words per panel. It's a smaller book, but it took a little bit to read. Story, I'm going to go 3.75. And then inside art, I'm going 4.75. It's almost perfect too, to me. And overall, 4.5. All right, your turn, D.
I've got one question before D gets started. Was Joe Sinnott the inker of the book?
Sinnott?
No, it was it was
Joe Sinnott. He did the cover and art by Jack Kirby and Joe Sinnott.
Okay, what up, Fiddle Chips?
So I imagine he did the inside art too.
I will point out a few panels that I really enjoyed. and some of them were just silly, and I just enjoyed it though. But the first one, I did actually just really like how um, oh, cooperate. I loved the panel where Black
He
Panther
kicks both of them.
kicks
Yeah,
the shit out of both of them. That was
that's a great panel.
Yeah.
that was very very cool.
Well, it's the first time that they meet him, and they get kicked in the face.
Yeah, this
That's
one
just
to
a
me
typical
was
Marvel greeting. Apparently, every hero in Marvel's the Marvel universe meets each other. And it's like, we must fight.
Yeah.
there's one scene where the Thing is starting to like wreck things to see if his strength is back, and Wingfoot tells him to lay off a little bit, and the Thing goes, "The only guy who gives me orders is a guy who can lick me," which, you know, you're not seeing it, but it's
Yeah.
trust me. Yeah, there you go.
Well, he's got a piece of the machinery, and he's about to whack the floor with it.
Yeah, but saying a guy that can lick me, like I always enjoy old comic book dialogue that doesn't quite have the sexual innuendo yet. Like,
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they mean lick in a fight, like, you know.
oh yeah, I fully knew what they meant, but it's just something that like
Yeah, something
today.
that's
Like the boner cover.
Yeah, no, dude, the Joker when he says boner all the time, like,
Yeah.
you know, that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed how Black Panther at one point when he takes down the Invisible Girl, he like is so ready for her, he's so prepared. He like jumps into her force field before she can seal it.
Yeah,
I thought that was
cool
really
too.
cool.
That's pretty fast. That's pretty agile. It's
Well,
gotta
so
be.
he was saying that he
She's a-
studied all of them before.
Yeah, well, you got to
inviting
think she does this pretty much at the speed of thought. You would think.
Yeah.
It's
And
reflex, yeah.
And here's my dude scrubbing his face in the pool. That just dumb as fuck. What the hell, man? What are you doing?
Well, you know, there's one thing the Thing has been consistent with over the years, and he's still to this day. He's quick-tempered, and once his temper is off, he doesn't think. He just reacts.
He goes with whatever. Yeah.
I also really enjoyed the fight between Black Panther and Mr. Fantastic in the dark. I just like how it just turning it all blue made it really obvious that they were in the dark.
Mhm.
So I enjoyed that. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing I really disliked, and this is not like I'm offended by race culture and whatnot, but I thought the skin tone was really weird for an African American. Like, it looks better on camera than it does on my tablet. On my tablet, it looks gray.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
But
it looks like
here's the thing that I find weird because most African Americans aren't as dark as Africans. Like they're really dark. So
the problem is when you make it somebody really, really dark, though, you can't see their facial expressions.
Exactly. So I think that's what the grayscale was like more for the.
yeah. But like to me, like that's what I was talking about. Like
he also looks
doesn't-
older than he should be.
Yeah.
But it just really off on the colors and every person in Wakanda was that color.
If he was truly dark faced, like black skinned, all those expressions that are on his face wouldn't show.
Yeah, but you could have
had to take off the mask even to show his facial expressions.
But for me, like adding a little bit more brown into the skin color would have
been better. Yeah.
It literally comes off as being gray
It kind of looks
with
like a zombie. He kind of reminded me of Solomon Grundy.
Yeah, he looks
more like Gray Hulk than anything. Yeah.
Yeah, he looks gray with a half a drop of brown. Like
I got
mix
it. Yeah.
Like not a good skin.
That might be a mistake at the printers or a mistake in the coloring. It might not be what
Yeah,
they
yeah.
intended.
No, I don't think it was the intention, but it just the printed result is what what you get. So
Yeah.
so
Well, that's the thing with colorists. You never know what you're gonna
The
get.
thing
Right?
is, they never had that issue with DC. Every African American or African they did looked like a brown, more
Yeah,
dark
more
brown
brown.
skin, like a John Stewart
I think of like Lois Lane up that Lois Lane.
or Lois Lane. Yes.
Yeah, she was very
um
she was very brown.
so I'll do my my scores here. The cover I'm going to give a 3. I did not like how the Human Torch looked very like I could have drawn that almost kind of simple looking.
Yeah.
The thing looks like he just got dumped.
Yeah, I know. He has a very
Very
sad look
sad
to
look.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not angry Ben Grimm. That is sad Ben Grimm. And
Well, I think they're trying to show them as being defeated almost.
yeah,
Maybe?
You might be right.
and then the overall look of the cover, it looks like they're kind of teaming up
Yeah.
instead of being hunted.
Well,
You know,
yeah,
like
because they're facing away from Black Panther rather than towards him.
yeah. So it looks like it's like
The question becomes, does the cover represent the minute like they're in that room before Black Panther suddenly comes out, "Wah, I'm gonna get you," like are they not facing and not expecting him?
no,
Yeah.
it can represent whatever it wants, but it's the opening image of it's the first thing that you see when you look at the book. So for me, I still think 3.0 is a good score. It's not bad art, but it's not Kirby's best in my opinion. I do like the fact that there is things in the background. It's not just a blank image.
Well,
There's a
they showed all the
moon.
machinery and stuff.
Yeah, so that was cool. Then story, I dislike the story a lot. And it's just a personal preference. A lot of the Jack Kirby Stan Lee books are way overly worded, and with dialogue that is truly unnecessary for the development of the story. So I get to the point where I'm like, man, I've been on one page here for a long time, and
Well,
I
that's more
learned.
Silver Age, though. That's Silver
Yeah,
Age
yeah,
style
and
versus.
I'm a Silver Age collector, not like the biggest Silver Age collector, but I got a couple. I enjoy collecting them, and I want this book in my collection still. But yeah, the story was a 2 for me. I read so much and gained so little. Then for my interior arts, I'm gonna give I give that like a 3.5. The art was just fine. There was a lot of detail that had to go into it with all the machinery and whatnot,
Mhm.
but overall as an art, I'm not saying Kirby's art was a 3.5, but I am also talking about the skin color that I could not get around these gray men that were walking all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
they were very gray.
every
I give you that. I didn't really think about it at the time, but
I
yeah.
honestly think it's because, and it's just me here. They may have been afraid that it would be too much black or darkness on a panel, and they wanted to infer
It
the
don't
color
bother me.
rather than show the
I think
color.
it's good. Yeah.
like
I
they're
know
just
it's
very
hard to even
gray.
tell that's Wyatt there, and then
Yeah,
he's fighting the Africans, and you can't tell the difference in their skin tone almost.
yeah.
And
So
Wyatt is really white for a native.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's dude. If he wore glasses, it might have been Clark Kent.
yeah, yeah. So
So we got that's it. We got
Well, so my overall would be a 3.0.
okay.
okay.
That's
I'll
the
put my
same grade as
scores in
my
the
comic
private chat.
book.
Yeah, yeah.
Mine's actually a 3.0.
Hey,
I
beautiful.
got a 2.5. All right, we're gonna go to Alan next. Thank you so much, D.
Okay, so I'm not as critical, I guess, as D was. Actually, I enjoyed the story for a different reason. So I'll give you my impressions of the cover first, though. I actually thought I actually liked the cover for a lot of the same reasons that Biggie said. That it does have that, that moon, big moon, and the character jumping out. I love that contrast with the moon. Um,
Why was
I do.
hold on, Alan? Why was
Mhm.
this your first slab? I was curious.
Oh, this was my first lab because this is sort of when I got back into collecting. There was sort of a hiatus where I was really just focused on magazines. Um, And then this one I got maybe in 2014, 2015 era.
Yeah.
And I didn't even realize that they were slabbing books. It was like a new concept to me, even. I was like, oh, why is it in a case? I was like surprised that it was in a case. I was like, oh, what's this case thing?
So you just
That's
ran into it and you're like, oh, that's neat. I'll buy it.
no. I got it off eBay. And
You
I
did.
I didn't really understand the whole grading thing back then, or I was like, it was a new concept to me. Because I was sort of used to the old style of how comics were graded, and it was just it was new for me.
That's just interesting to me. I like that.
I was sort of I hadn't gone to the comic shops as much back then. I was more like just I wasn't as involved with the comic collecting community, and so yeah, it was
Could
new
you
to me.
imagine when you bought that, you thought, I'm gonna have 1,000 of these?
Yeah, what's funny? I like the case so much
Yeah.
that I was like, oh, now I got to get them all this
Oh
way.
yeah.
So I really like the whole idea of the grade and the information on it. I just love that. So I was sort of instantly in love with the idea of getting graded comics.
All
Um,
right. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Continue on with your grade
yeah.
and your.
Well,
So
Fiddlechips wants to know when you started collecting.
I started collecting back in the early '80s, and then in the '70s, I also had a fairly good collection of like cartoony books. But it was like early '80s, like '81, I would say, was when I
Mhm.
really started collecting like more officially. But yeah, but in the '90s is when I sort of got my own comics, because that was when I was in university. So yeah.
See, I would say a similar thing. In the early 80s was when I started. Well, I would say 1979, 80 was when I was buying my own comics out of my allowance and not asking, Dad, can I get this? But I had an advantage you didn't. I had a father that would buy them because he would also read them.
Yeah, so I'd get my parents to buy me the comics. They would usually get the 3 packs and stuff. And
Yeah.
then, so I'd be mainly, like up till university, I was mainly getting the Disney related comics.
Yeah.
But yeah. But quickly back to the cover. I really do like the cover. I like the Black Panther character. I just like the way he presents. Um, so I would give the cover like a 4 out of 5. I like the fact that it has all these like very Kirby-esque details of all the machinery. I think it's quite cool. And so 4 on the cover. I'd also give the interior art a 4. The thing that I liked about Hunter versus Hunter Prey was there was a little bit more dynamic panel layout. That panel, the panel layouts in that were just like all over the place, and it really kind of drove the story in a way. This was much more traditional, just standardized, like kind of standardized paneling. Every so often they have a big panel like the one where he's kicking both of them, but for the most part it was pretty standardized. But I thought the interior art was good and stuff, so I'd say like a 4. I'm not gonna be too critical of it. It's about the same level as the cover, which is
Hey, sorry, I'm. You had what was the cover for you?
I put the cover as a 4,
Okay.
and the interior art is a 4. Um, and the story I would give a 4 as well. It's not the best story I've ever read, but I actually like the story more because I always like the idea of this where you as the reader, we don't have superpowers, right? So we think, oh, if I was in that situation, I'd be totally useless because I have no superpowers. But in this, Wyatt kind of represents the reader in a way that he actually is the thing that is the game changer, because the Fantastic Four really get defeated by the Black Panther. but it was Wyatt that kind of saved the day. And so that idea that you don't have to have superpowers in order to be a hero, kind of, I like that idea, and I like that they kind of had this sort of sleepy guy be the hero somehow. But you know, that appealed to me. So and I did like the fact that you can tell that they were really trying to pitch the other comics, that they really wanted you to get those back issues or go out and collect certain books. They were like, you know, they were really hinting, oh, you should have this one.
Well, part of it is they were trying to build a continuity, I find.
Yeah, they were really. Oh, I've been minimized.
Yeah, I like the ads too. I'm sorry, Owen. You can keep talking. I'm just gonna pull them up.
Yeah. So story wise, I gave it a 4. So far everything is a 4 for me. Overall, I give it a 4 as well. So so that's why it's Fantastic Four.
Oh, you bastard!
Yeah, everything's a 4. It's fantastic. So yeah, so yeah, that's, I don't know, that's my overall opinion. There was a couple things that I thought were really that really sold you, not on Fantastic Four number 52, but actually on Fantastic Four number 53. They really sold you that on that idea of getting the next issue, which I thought was really smart in terms of the way the book was designed. It was like, why is this all happening, kind of thing? Why is, you know, this guy who seems like they actually set up Wakanda as being a good nation and that they are like good people, and then they you know, set you up to be curious, why would they do this, and you have to read the next issue to find out. So I thought that was cool.
Well, I feel like you forgot. Hold on, let me think. You got interior art, cover, and overall. Is that all we do?
Yeah, I did cover, interior art, overall, story. 4 things.
Story, 4 things. Okay,
and I gave everything a 4.
Story, interior, cover. Okay, I didn't see the story point, but that's all right. It's all 4s. Cool, sweet.
Yeah, all 4s.
That's
all right.
Okay. Before I give any things that do this, I have to say that the biggest thing I didn't like about this book, I forget my mentioning about being confused about the Inhumans or whatever. There are 2 things I don't like about this book. One of them is because Jack Kirby and Stan Lee did not know how to write women. Okay. I find that they make out Sue Storm in this era to be this little flower who can't handle anything, and she is one of the strongest characters that have ever been there. And you know what? I hope their wives gave them crap for it. It's the same with Crystal.
I didn't mind that personally.
Well, no,
Crystal. If you think about 60s women were, you know, like even modern women are not like going out and like beating up.
And she held her own, dude. Like she's a part of the Fantastic Four.
So the way Sue Storm worked in the original early Fantastic Four is she's more a stealth character. She's more like a rogue. Like she's not going to be like front.
She almost got away from him.
Yeah, I get that, but I mean, like it's.
But she's a very good support character as well.
But the way she's like, oh, I can't seem to think without the boys telling me what to do. And Crystal drove me crazy with this. Oh, I'm stuck here and I can't see Johnny. How about I'm stuck here? What the hell are we gonna do? Can we eat? Can we da? Do you know what I mean? Like,
actually, I think that's a very realistic way of drawing. Of writing women. Believe it or not.
And the second thing that, but maybe it's a personal thing. It might be a personal thing, but I found them a little too helpless. Okay, in that sense, especially since in comic books we're used to seeing stronger women, like the women in the Crime Model magazine.
So my point is they wrote women more realistically. If you experience women, they're much more
I mean I married a strong woman, so I'm used to strong, I guess.
But you married a French woman, so you know.
Yeah, but the other thing that I don't like, and it comes to the point you're saying, they're trying to make Wakanda into this wonderful, great republic, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Future.
What? But in this book, he acts like a thug. I find that he acts like an aggressive, like you're not, I know we don't get his reasons in this book and we have to wait to the other one, but like he spends the entire book, oh, I need to get ready to fight. He doesn't like, show, and they don't show him being like this great leader of people. It's like, oh, gotta go fight and throw people. He's like, throw my army into this. I mean, it just didn't feel like what we
But-
know about the character now. It didn't
But they
feel like
do show that he's a smart man, that he studied his prey. He kind of like was not
Yes.
just like,
but from a
Um,
warlord / military style, and not because he's just a generally smart guy. Like it
well,
just,
I mean,
it
yeah.
this is what I'm taking from it. That's all.
that's always been my issue with Wakanda anyways. In a way, like Wakanda is too tribal to be the advanced society that
Exactly.
it is.
That's
And
what I'm getting at.
But that's been true all along with Wakanda. They
But-
shouldn't have chieftains. They shouldn't have like all this.
Well,
kind
that's
of-
just it. If he, but
There's no
and
way
it's
they
not
could
just
be
that they have
advanced
a
like that.
chieftain. It's like the chieftain is the guy who can wear this suit. Like that's not exactly democratic.
Well, yeah. So my point is, they're not a democracy, and they.
Yeah, no, they're an absolute monarchy. They're just
Yeah.
a different way of determining it,
Yeah.
or even
so
a
the-
benevolent dictatorship, for lack of a better
yeah.
phrase.
So, Wakanda is not a practical idea. There's no way you could develop a technological society that they live in, supposedly, and still live in these tribal kind of like.
And I'm going to say this to Fiddle Chips. I'm not trying to look at it with modern goggles per se. I'm trying to think of the way the writers perceived it, like of their time. I find that Sue Storm is not a woman of the 60s. There's a woman of the 40s in a bit. And then that's what I'm saying. In their mind, they're probably writing their wives and daughters.
I don't know. I think of women even now, like I think it's kind of like, the women in comic books now are like too strong and they're too manly.
Well, yeah, I mean they've gone the other extreme, right? The problem is like comics are never expected to be realistic. I mean, I'm realistic on that. There's always a fantasy element to them.
I'm not sure if you've ever been in a situation where you had a spider in your house, or like my wife will be the one that's like pushes me in front of this little spider.
Yeah, I get that too.
Yeah. So my point is like, there is that sort of women needing that protection, but the same point is that's why Sue Storm's actually really well written. She has that feminine nature, but also she is a useful asset to the Fantastic Four because she does act as a support
I would
character.
rather see her as the asset. That's my point. I don't know. It's just me. I mean, like maybe not this issue necessarily, and I'm just looking at that whole era as a thing. I've got about half of them in.
If you read FF5, where they meet Doctor Doom, she actually is the one that saves the other three.
Yes, I remember that. I do remember.
And she
that.
does it because she's a support character. She's like, she turns invisible. She can kind of stealthily, kind of check out the area and stuff. So, I don't know. I was never bothered by that.
The thing. I'm going by this issue alone with my my thoughts. However,
Hey, boys, real quick, I gotta bounce. I have a work thing. I'll be right back. All right.
okay.
All right.
Anyway, it's just a personal thing that I was seeing when I was reading it. That's my own thing. That's one way or another. I'm just saying,
Matt, be more
because-
sexist like me.
What?
Be more
no.
sexist
It's more.
like
It's
me.
more because it's because Invisible Woman is probably in my top 5.
I know
of
you really
favorite
like her. Yeah.
characters.
I mean,
And
she's cool.
she's
cool.
such a modern day. She's so strong and so, and so and
Yeah,
feminine. Like,
she
that's
must
what-
have done something good for her to be in your top 5. So that's cool, man.
Yes. That's what I'm getting at. So this particular issue sort of touched a little nerve on it.
But
like
she's kind of like that in all the early FFs.
I know, and that sometimes is like when Reed says things like women should be shopping, not whatever. I want to smack him myself. But anyway,
But she does push back on some of those things.
Yes, I know.
Even in the comics.
I do get that. But let's get back to the book here. Okay. I just had to say that. And again, it was the same thing. Like if I take it just from this issue, and that's what we're reviewing, this issue, I didn't like T'Challa's personality. I thought he was a bit rough around the edges. In this one. And
And
that, I mean, as a character in this one book, he was a little rough around the edges. I realized because he needed to fight them, or for whatever reason, I haven't read the next
we
one
don't
yet,
know. I haven't read the third 53
you
either.
know.
I'm good.
But
I was going to read it actually.
the fact is, you know, like he seems to be a decent strategist, and the fact that they win, the Fantastic Four only win because Wyatt is the wild card.
Yeah.
And so that's fine. He didn't anticipate it, therefore, you know.
Well, I mean, the thing that they really set up though in this is they set up Black Panther is a formidable.
Absolutely. He toppled the Fantastic Four
Yes,
theoretically.
and that's not the problem I have with it. What I'm saying is they're trying to build this new character. I find that they got off to the wrong foot a little bit with it, but that's them. I'm sure they fixed it because he was a very popular character afterwards. But let's get to the thing, the cover.
Yeah.
I agree with you two. The cover is fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. So we both
Okay,
agree.
I need another word. Okay, I would give the
Was
cover
it a Fantastic Four, or did you give it some other?
It's a
grade?
It's a fantastic 4.5.
Oh wow,
Nice.
Fantastic 4.5.
Okay, the cover's great.
Yes.
Mhm.
The reason I asked who the inker was is because there's certain inkers that are better with Kirby than others, and I wanted to make sure it was the good inker before.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
Summit was a good
because
inker,
for
so-
me, when Vince Coletta does Kirby, I'm not a big fan.
right.
Oh, okay.
So a lot
Okay.
of people have that opinion. I've heard that
You know,
before. So
It's because Coletta is lazy, but
Oh.
that's my problem.
when
That's
D,
my thought.
when D said that the torch was simple, I like that style of art. It's a cartoony comic
Yes.
art. It's not a realistic. It's like it's almost like something you'd see in the funny pages with a
But
little
what-
better
what-
animation.
What is what you have here is the way Kirby always draws the torch. The difference is that Sinnot or Sinnot, I can't remember how to pronounce it,
I think it's
will put he will touch every line Kirby put. That's where the Kirby crackle is best. It's where the floating heads are the best, is when Sinnot does his stuff.
yeah.
Coletta will ignore lines. And so it makes Kirby's art look even more simpler. Like, for example, if Coletta was to ink this, there'd be missing lines in the thing. And there'd be less shading in the Human Torch. Like, there would be less of the shade lines.
I really like seeing the reprint, I guess, because if you look at it, actually, Black Panther's cape on mine, like it's
they fixed the color problems.
Yeah, it looks very almost washed out.
Yes,
but on
because there's
the
also modern
reprint, they
techniques.
lightened out the cape. So
Because then they had to do it by the old ink method, where this one is computer generated now.
yeah, see how like it's more detailed on the reprint because
Because they can.
Mhm.
So anyway, the cover is a 4.5, as I said. Now the interior art, again, I would put it in the 4 to 4.5 category. So we'll go in the middle, 4 and a quarter. Okay.
Okay.
Because I can't quite, you know what I mean? Like, because overall it's great, but there's some bad panels. Like, you get great panels like the kick panel, but there's other ones where the art just doesn't look great. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Story. Now this is where it loses it for me because and mostly because there's not enough I find that in a lot of books, like they give you a little bit of what's going on, a little more background when something's happened in an earlier issue or whatever. They didn't give enough when it comes to
I don't think you needed it though, personally.
Well, I think they could have personally. I think for this particular issue, they could have either did the Inhumans once instead of going to them 2 or 3 times, and focused more on the thing. I realized that they wanted to keep the climax. Let me tell you this, but there was nothing given in the thing. But anyways, I find that the story was a little weak here, so I'm only going to give the story a 3. Okay. Because there are areas they could have improved upon. The thing that everybody loves Stan Lee so much, that the thing they forget is she was a schlock writer. Okay, he was corny. He was like, you know, real writers would look at what Stan Lee writes and call him a hack. Okay,
But
and
he
that's
had to
fine.
be in order to produce as
But
much as he did.
no, for comics, it works for the most part. But yes, you know.
Yeah.
But overall, the book, because of its significance, and it is significant even as a standalone issue, there you are introducing a potential major character. You are so I would say the book overall is a 4 because the art saves the story in a lot of the
One thing that I would say though that I just want to comment just because I'm thinking about it, like when I read Fantastic Four, and I always felt this with Fantastic Four more than any other comic actually, is you really know the personalities of all the characters. You complained about her personality, for example. You know,
I just think they didn't write. They get better with her. Like they do get
no,
better.
but my point is, each of the characters, you know that she's not the type that's going to be the front fighter or anything. You know what kind
It's
of personality
one of the
she
reasons
is.
why I've
You know
always
what the
loved
thing
the
is.
Fantastic.
He's not the brightest guy, but he's the guy that's going to punch the bad guy. You know,
And he's
you know
extremely loyal.
Mr. Fantastic has kind of a, you know, is the
He's
sort
a
of the
dick.
diplomat and the sort of the dad figure. And Johnny Storm is the hothead that, you know, sometimes does, but he's a good boy as well. He, you know, he wants to do right by everyone else. So, you know, they set up all the characters' personalities really, really well. And they don't just do it like in one book. They all do it in every book. And that and it's very
they've
consistent.
maintained at least for the 3 guys, they've maintained that over the years. They've made her stronger since. And actually, when she became a mother, that became the best part. I think that's the best time that all of a sudden, because she got even more felt responsibility and she really started stepping up when Franklin was involved.
But
and
yeah, my main point was like modern books, you know, they're like they have different names. But that's the only thing that you can tell the difference between the characters.
No, I know. No,
like if you look at the like most
agree.
recent Black Panther movie, that was my big pet peeve.
I know.
Like,
I remember.
You got Riri, and you got Shiri, and they're all like, what's the difference? You could swap the people and you wouldn't know any difference. You know.
I know.
Yeah.
No, I remember seeing your review about that, and I know that.
But my point is, it's really cool that the way the Fantastic Four was written was you really know which character's which. You could close your eyes and not see it, but just hear the, you know, if somebody was reading the dialogue, you could say, oh, that's the thing doing that. That's
yes, I would agree with you on all these points. I'm just saying in this particular issue, I had an issue with
the story. I get it.
With her story. You know, like this almost felt a little This almost felt a little rushed. I think that they might have been feeling a little deadline pressure on this. That's all.
Who knows? Yeah.
You know, I mean, because they've got some great books. The Mole Man was great. The Doctor Doom was fantastic. Galactus off the charts.
So
that's cool.
Y'all ready for the total score out of 80?
Sure.
Total is 66 out of 80.
Is that better or worse than Hunter Prey?
I can't remember.
It's slightly better.
All these totals, you know, you got to keep it in like.
Well,
and then we'll say this is the greatest book of the year or something. You know?
Yeah, I think this one might be a little higher, but it could be the same or less. It's up there.
Well, hey, we can rewatch the last episode and get the score, and then we'll have to keep track of it going forward.
Yeah, it's useful to get the scores.
So,
by the way, Fiddle Chips, with it to answer your question. My wife is more likely to be able to do the tire than me. I have real issues with my hands.
But is she the kind of person that grabs the handle when you hear the tire blow? You know, gets scared and startled and terrified?
Oh, we all do. We all. I've been in the car when we've been in the car when the tire blew. Both of us were like, "Whoa!"
It's interesting to see when you pick the book to see how everybody else reacts to it, and I felt like it was about as much as I did. I knew there'd be some criticisms.
No, you picked a good one, Biggie.
No, okay. It was a good choice, and overall, it's a really decent book. It's just a little, as I said, I find it a little rushed in the writing. That's all.
Well, I clearly scored it very high.
And here's the other part of it, though. Like, if this is like a weekly thing we do, I'll love that. But I'm okay with reading a book I don't like for
Yeah.
this purpose. Like,
Yeah, I
like,
agree.
hey, I'm reading something that's out of my comfort zone.
Mm.
I'm okay with that. Like, and then if I didn't enjoy it, I can at least speak to it because I will have read it.
And
Yeah,
I
I wouldn't have read Hunter. Like I read it way back when. I wouldn't have read it again if it wasn't for us doing this.
Yeah.
So it was.
And
And your life is better
I
because
will
of it.
read everything once. If it's a comic book, I will read it once.
I'm glad I was able to force you guys to read FF52. So what do you got next, Steve?
Hey, for our next book,
Yeah.
I got it right here. Big screen my ass.
Okay.
You're gonna show
Y'all
your
ready?
ass
It's
in
exciting.
screen?
We're going with Superman Annual number 3.
Okay,
Oh,
I
you
have.
said that you really like this book. I've never
Yeah,
read
it's-
it, so I don't know.
Oh, this
It's
is the
pretty
one.
decent.
This is the one where Superman turns into like a super leader, world leader, right? Kind of deal, maybe.
If anyone has read the DC Injustice storyline, this is that before that came out. This is back in '91.
Right.
So
Oh, okay. It ain't like what I
Um,
said then at all.
yeah, and it's a Dan Jurgens book. And I loved Superman's costume in this book. You know, those gloves and the boots
This
are
will be the
different.
first time I don't think I'll be able to find it, D. So yeah,
Oh, I'll send you a link that you can read it online.
it'll be
just
awesome. It'll be
Yeah.
awesome.
Mhm.
But
Wow!
yeah, that-
Wow!
Yeah,
You
no,
guys-
I own that one, so at least I've got.
that's awesome. We got 2 people with physical copies. I'm going to
I
try
don't
to
have it.
find. I'm going to try
Yeah.
to find it, but
But
I doubt I got
to be honest, like I have pretty much every Superman book after the post crisis. So I mean, like,
Yeah. So
Oh,
if I could though, I would like to lead the
yes.
the
The
covering
show.
of the
I
book.
read the
Yeah.
last 2, and I was
Yeah,
kind
that
of hoping
makes
you guys would
sense.
do what I did.
Yeah.
Like after I did
Hi,
it, like,
Roscoe.
even though D leads, I'm going to do the same shit I did this first couple times. So
Yeah, I'm good with that.
yeah.
But yeah, no, it's and I'm seriously, it's one of those. It was literally the first ever comic book I ever had in my collection when I was a
Mhm.
kid. I don't have the one that I currently have. I don't still have that
yeah,
copy.
the
but,
original copy. Yeah.
yeah, but like just a fun book, and like I knew it threw me for a loop because I knew of Superman as being a good guy. So this first comic book I buy and read, I'm like, man, Superman, he's a dick.
All right. Well, I guess we'll go around the horn. I think that Matt and comic collector Alan have some sort of a challenge or something going on. Maybe Matt can explain that.
We did 50 at the last show we went to together. We did a 50. What could we buy for $50 challenge? And on Tuesday, which was yesterday, the result dropped on my channel. And so far, the voting on my channel on that video has me leading 6-5 in votes, and my own wife, voted against me.
Wow.
So,
All right.
That got Alan off the schneid because at the time it was 4-0 me.
Oh.
And then all
Wow.
of a sudden, the people say it's like they suck. Because like she even mentioned, but I'm doing it just to piss me off. She said that, but the fact is that all of a sudden, bang, the next 3 people are like, yeah, I vote for Alan too.
So what do you got to say about that, Alan?
So it was interesting. If people saw the negotiation that I did to get the $50 books, they would have voted for me. You remember that, Matt? Like I really used
Yes,
it. I
yes.
really leaned into it. Where I was asking, the books were labeled like more than like $80.
I even tried to help you.
Yeah. You were, Matt was like, "Oh, I'll buy something," and like, it was actually Matt was helping me too.
Dang.
So we really negotiated, and I got a really amazing deal on the 2 books. I picked up 2 Golden Age books for $50 Canadian.
Oh, I'm gonna have to watch this video. I'm sorry I missed
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's on my channel. It's the latest video because all I had was a short that dropped today. So yeah, tomorrow I have a new video coming. But if you go there right now, it's my latest video.
Yeah, and you
Yeah,
didn't make a
it's-
video, so, Alan, huh? It's just on Matt's channel, right?
Yeah.
No.
So the way I did it was I showed my hunting, and then I said go to Matt's channel to
Alan did
watch.
the intro. The intro was on Alan's channel. We each did a hunt video, and then the finale was on my channel.
Okay, I'm looking for the video now. I'm gonna try to post the link in my chat. You got anything else going on there? You know what?
So
I'm
my
not subscribed.
Stackery arrives on
Hold
Friday.
on, I'm not subscribed to Matt.
You're not subscribed to Matt. What's
Yeah,
going on?
what the hell? I'm sorry, Matt. I'm subscribed now.
That's 5. That's fine.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, I've had him on my channel for fucking ages. Okay, so 4 days ago you did the top 50 challenge, right?
That was
Yeah.
that was my okay. The
$50
4 days
challenge.
ago, 4 days ago would be my search video.
Oh, the results are the
Yesterday.
one that you did the vote on.
That's right.
Okay,
We
got
want.
it.
I want people to vote on the results one.
Okay.
Geek Out with Roscoe posted it. The
Yeah.
link.
Oh, good. Thank you. So, what else you got going on, Matt? Before we get down, I guess. You got anything
Right
else?
now, that's I've got a couple other videos dropping this week. I've got a Legion one tomorrow that that covers a storyline that I really liked, and I really recommend people go after and watch this video. This one is probably one of the best storylines that they ever did in the 1980s. So I did one on that. That's dropping tomorrow, and next week I'm going to host a live show featuring books with heroines in it. I don't know who's going to be on it yet. I'm still waiting to hear from a few people.
I'll see if I can come.
Hey guys, I gotta go again. My work keeps calling me.
Yeah, that's all right, dude.
I'll sign out. All right.
All right, big dog.
Bye, D.
I have secured Nate's coming on, and I'm waiting to hear from a couple other people. So
Yeah.
Nate,
If you ever need anything, Matt, hit me up. I'll do my best too. If you ever need to fill in at some point.
Yeah, well, I'll keep that in mind there, Biggie. I know it's because you do go live a lot, so I'm not sure what your schedule's like. So
Pretty open. So, you
Yeah.
got anything
Okay.
else, Alan? You want to shout
I
out?
got a bunch of stuff happening actually. Tomorrow I'll show like a romance collection I picked up. It's like 50 books, all from the
Nice.
Silver and Golden Age. And then on Friday, my Stackery is supposed to come. My Stackery, it's 4 big boxes. It's like over 200 pounds of comics coming.
you should tell me if it arrives, because maybe we can whip over so that we can have those rings Stapo sent for the Friday night.
Which?
He sent the Legion rings in this one, I think.
Oh yeah. Maybe you can pop over.
We'll see. We'll see what timing permits.
Yeah, and
'Cause
then
it'd be funny to sit there and go like that.
Yeah, no, it'd be cool. Yeah, actually, that's a good idea. So that's Friday afternoon, and then Friday evening, you're invited as well, Biggie. I was going to invite Diaz if he was interested too. We're going to be talking about Captain America and showing Captain American comics.
I wanted to ask you, are you okay if it's Captain America on a cover? Because I've got some Avengers ones that I really liked that he was on the cover.
Yeah, I think we're pretty easygoing about that.
Yeah, no, because I do have enough books that way. Because I've only actually got 3 that are Captain America. Like, by name.
Yeah.
That's actually people that may not know this, but that's my favorite Marvel character is Captain America.
Captain America.
Cool.
So yeah, definitely come. And you have a nice Golden Age
Lettuce
Captain America,
Comics
too.
is the same. I think Captain America is his favorite of all overall.
So D, you got anything else going on? You got your
Yeah, no,
thing
but
about.
yeah, no, I'm gonna work on a video coming up here this weekend where I cover my books with the lowest CGC census population.
Okay.
I've got
So
a lot
your
of them.
rarest books is what you're saying.
I don't want to say rarest because I don't think they're always rare. I think sometimes it's not a lot of people collect them or grade them, but some of them are rare. But yeah, it's something that I'm gonna have to do some research on because I'll have to.
Do you have
Put
any
together-
one-of-ones on the census?
You know, I did for a minute, but then it very
And somebody
quickly.
else got to grade it.
Yeah, someone else it went up to 6 very quickly. It's
Oh.
it's actually this book right here
Oh, really?
was there was 0 on the census when I submitted it. It's the second print for the first Scarlet Spider came with an
Yeah.
action figure.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's super rare. I've seen. Yeah.
So that one I was super excited when it came back at 9.8, but by the time I got it back, there was already another one on the report. But I found it because it sold on eBay, and it was actually a first print that was mislabeled. But then there's like 4 other copies that came in.
Are they
so.
all graded 9/8? Or are they like?
Yeah, no, the 4 I'm talking about are 9.8s. It's also like a few 9.6s, a few 9.2s, and
Because like I would
but
think if it's with a toy, it's gonna get mangled just by the toy. You know what I mean? Like.
yeah, no, it definitely when I broke it out of the package, it needed a press. But yeah, no, it's just it should be a fun little video and I don't make a lot of content, but that's something I'm planning here in the future. And the other thing I got going on is my boss. No, leave me. I can be. My boss is out of town, so every time something goes wrong at work, I get
You're
a
the
fucking
boss.
phone call. Yeah.
You're the
I'm not the
boss.
boss, but I'm the only one that knows how to fucking do anything. So I get to.
You're the guy that's taking the responsibility right now. That's the.
Yeah, I got interrupted yesterday when we were on live with Biggie. So
Hi, man
a lot of
cave.
fun.
It happens a
man.
few
Doc.
times. No big
Hey,
deal.
Man Cave seems to be a Captain America fan.
He seems to be. He may have like a really cool Captain America book. You'd be surprised.
He has Cap 1.
That was the first big dog book I remember Doc getting. I was like, oh yeah, that Cap one, man, that feels good, dude. That's a good
Yeah,
book,
It's
bro.
pretty awesome.
Yeah, if I could, you don't see many Cap ones in your life. So Alan's doing a show Friday, Doc, for Captain America. I think I'm gonna hop on there. Everybody's invited. You can hop on too.
Yeah. Man cave, you're definitely invited. Biggie.
D, you're invited. D, you're invited.
Are you coming?
Apple's
by the way?
finally here. He's saying hello.
Biggie, are you coming on Friday?
I will try my best. Yeah.
Okay, if I send you, I'll send a link on Collector Club.
Yeah.
Can you know?
I'll send it to Doc. Yeah, no problem.
If we, send it to Doc and anyone else that you think might be interested. It's an open show. I don't really care who comes. Yeah.
So for me, I will be doing Friday show with Alan. I'll probably do my own little Friday show. Maybe D's not doing too much, and then we still got to do our speculation this week. And me and D's been hopping on about every day, and as long as permitted, we'll keep doing that. So that's Saturday Band of Brother auction. I'll be trying to sell some books there. So me, Who Dat, Bleeker, K-pop, Papa Willie, Callie. There'll be a bunch of people there. And shout outs to Bleeker's Church. Shout outs to Alan's Monday show with Steppo. Shout outs to Matt's new thing with his 50 thing and his subscriber, and he's doing a giveaway and a few more subscriptions. Shout outs to Big D. Shout outs to K-pop. Shout outs to Comic Journey and the Insomniac crew. So see y'all later. This has been the Comic Book Club, and that was FF52. Next week we'll be doing D's book, Superman Annual 3. Adios, amigos. Kirby's the best. I'm not going to do it like Collector Club, but we're out of here.
Biggie.